Good evening from Perth, Western Australia for Operation RCT. It's now turn 7 for Imperial Japan. It's July of 1939. Japan has 38 IPP in the bank, and this is what our spend is. So we have 38. We're going to finish off the fleet carrier for 5. The heavy cruiser, which was on stage 2, is going to be completed for another 5, so that's 10. And then a bunch of infantry, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 28, 31, a paratrooper for 34, and we'll finish off with a Marine at 38. Because we've finished that fleet carrier, we are going to put up the US income by 1. We've also put two D12s here because we're going to be declaring war on a neutral nation, which is going to trigger 2 D12s for the US income, which we'll do at the end of the turn. But we'll get into tech. So we've got 3 tech now because we've got invested in 3 factories, and we're hoping that our luck can change with our tech. So let me just set this up here a moment without knocking everything over. That would be ideal. In my glasses so I can actually see. I've already knocked over the Dutch. It's a sign of things to come. All right, so we've got 3 tech dice, and we're going to try for, let's try for airborne on a 7. That'll be, let's make that, improved construction on a 7, airborne on a 7, and heavy ships on an 8, or large ships on an 8. So I'm going to set that up there. So the 7 will be the first one, improved construction. That's why I remember it. The second one will be airborne, which is going to try and get on the board, should be the black dice. And the blue one will be large ships. All right, let's give it a go, and let's hope and pray our scientists actually can do something in this game. All right, so let's start off. We get 1. We get, looks like a black 11, so that's going to be airborne, goes up onto airborne doctrine, stage 1. Not the ones we really wanted, but it is what it is, and it seems to be a theme in this game for me. All right, so as I said, we're going to be declaring war on the Dutch. Not happy with whatever they're doing. And they delivered us some spoiled cheese, so that seems like good enough reason to go to war. All right, so let's designate our, so we've got a bunch of battles, and what I'll do is I'll just start by designating our screening forces first, and then I'll go on with what our continuing forces are going to be doing, and then hopefully that'll make sense, and then from there I'll roll it all out. So I'll get my list so we can get this right. All right, so first of all, I've got a transport in P32. It's going to pick up 1 Marine and come 1, 2, 3 to P32, and he'll be doing a walk on there in a Dutch New Guinea. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. Not doing it yet, but we're just setting everything up. The next thing is going to be another Marine is going to come out of P32. It's going to pick up another Marine. 3, 4, what have I done here? It's going to pick up another Marine from P32 into P42. It's coming out of the major port. P42, P51, and we're going to land there on the northern side of Celebes, and we'll be doing a walk on there. All right, next, we're going to be, so the next one we're going to do is set up a screening force for the Lesser Sunda Islands. Let's do that. Sounds like fun. All right, so for the screening force, we're going to have a fighter come off a carrier and go on map out of P59. Let's try and get all this in camera. And actually, I'll try and zoom in a bit more. And now I've made a weird angle for the stand. Good one. Okay. Let's move that out of the way. Oh, let's drop everything. Oh, yeah, good stuff. Oh, man. All right, no wonder our scientists can't get a tech roll. We can't even operate the stand. All right, so where was I? All right, screening force. Okay, so we've got our fighter going off into map into P61. With that fighter, we will bring 1 TBD. And let's also bring from that stack in P59, let's go a light cruiser into this battle here. And let's go a second light cruiser. And I think that should do the job for the screening force. Okay, so let's talk about the force that is coming through P61 to get past that. So that's our screening force there. Hopefully you can see that. So coming out of P32, we're going to be utilizing the major port, 1 into P42, 2 into P51, 2 into P62. And what we're going to do is come into P61 and assault the Lesser Sunda Islands from that angle. And that should avoid that seaplane, that dastardly seaplane. And that's going to be another Marine. So it's now, we've got 3 Marines. I got to keep track of this. I've got 5 Marines left. Okay. All right. Let's now deal with C-Zone P59 and the screening force I'm going to use in there. So I'm going to bring a torpedo boat destroyer into C-Zone P59, and that's going to be part of our screening force. And also with that, I'm going to bring a fighter that's going to go on maps. It's going to try and hunt for that submarine. And also with that, I will bring, what are we going to bring? Let's bring a heavy cruiser. Now, as I see it, I did reach out to the guys. I think this seaplane, with the seaplane base, can only scramble into P60. And I'm pretty sure about it. It can't scramble into P59. So let me just sort this out 1 second. So I'm also going to bring another heavy cruiser into that battle. So 2 heavy cruisers, a TBD, and a fighter. And they're going to hopefully deal with that. That's a bit overkill. Yeah, whatever. All right, that's going to deal with that naval battle in there, that screening force. All right, now let's deal with what's going to go into, what's that one? Java. All right, so going into Java will be the continuing force. So part of that continuing force will be 2 battleships. And this is just handy dandy because we've just got no space in here, and it's part of the map. So we've got 2 battleships as a part of the screening force. We're going to bring 2 transports. So coming out of P32, 1 into P41, 2 into P50, 3 into P59. So we're going to bring 2 transports into this battle because we've got 2 battleships. And we're going to bring, let's go, 2 Marines, an infantry, and let's go a 2nd infantry. So 2 Marines, 2 infantry, and supporting them is going to be a tactical coming off the carrier. So that's, hopefully this is making sense. And this is that battle that's going to be in Java. So this is my continuing force. All right, so now going into Borneo, and I can assault Borneo from P50, which is handy. So from P50, we're going to bring 1, 2, 3, no. All right, from P50, I'm going to bring, so it's a single militia in there. We're going to bring 1, where's my transports? 1 transport is going to go into P50, and with that, as its accompanying, that will be a battle cruiser, and also that'll be, let's go, 2 Marines into Borneo. Okay. So finally, going into Sumatra is going to be, and hopefully we can see this on the map. I've got one transport and 1 destroyer left. So the destroyer is going to pick up the last remaining infantry and come 1, 2, and assault into Borneo with 1 infantry and accompanying them will also be this transport, which is going to bring a airborne and a artillery. Now, obviously, the artillery is going to be a second round deal, and hopefully we don't need it. And accompanying them, so it's 2 ships doing the amphibious assault, will be 2 heavy cruisers into that battle. So they will be accompanying that. What a mess this is. All right, now I have one more TBD that I can use. All right, so I'm going to bring my last TBD into this battle here. So sorry about that. So that'll be into that. So we've got 2 TBDs, 2 light cruisers, and a fighter on map. That'll be the continuing force. Now, hopefully I haven't screwed any of that up. Let's roll it all out and see what happens. I'll do all the screening battles first, and then we'll go to the land battles, and hopefully they go my way. That'd be good. All right, let's zoom out. So let's do the screening battle here in P61. So that fighter that's on map, all right, is going to be accompanied by 2 TBDs, 2 light cruisers, and they are up against a fleet submarine, which is going to get, it's going to get first strike. That's not good for me. And a destroyer. So we'll roll their first strike first. So they've got a first strike on a 3. Yep, first strike on a 3. So this is the battle in P61. So here's the Dutch submarine. Of course it gets a 2. So we're going to straight up lose one of the TBDs, which is what he's there for. And now we're going to roll on with our attack without knocking everything over. So we're going to start off with the fighter on a 6, and it gets a hit. So that's 1 hit. So that's 1. And then we've got the 2 light cruisers on a 5. Still check, yeah, on a 5. So they're on a 5. They miss. And then we've got the torpedo boat destroyer on a 2. On a 2. Oh, and it gets a hit. So that is that fleet taken care of. Luckily there, we just lost a TBD. All right, so that's the continuing force. Sorry, the continuing force then goes onto the Lesser Sunda Islands, and we pick that up for $1. All right, let's just deal with the other walk-ons. So the Lesser Sunda Islands goes to us for $1. And that's just that one there. And we'll also go the Dutch New Guinea. That's a walk-on. And then into Celebes from this northern side, we're going to pick up another one there. So that's another walk-on. So I'll just get another total. Okay. Let's deal with the screening battle now in P59. Okay, so in this particular battle, they've got a coastal sub defending and a transport, which is obviously not going to fire. So we've got a fighter at a 6. Let's start with that. So if we can get a hit here. And that's a 9. We have a TBD at a 2. That's a miss. And 2 heavy cruisers at a 6. And we get our required hit. We're going to auto kill the transport because that has to be taken as casualty last. So that fleet is at the bottom of the ocean. All right, so now we're going to go on with, let's do our battle in Java. So in Java, they've got 2 militia and 2 infantry. I've got going in there 2 bombards, first of all, with the battleships. So let's try those and see how we go. So 2 bombards on a 4. I just want to make sure I'm not screwing this up. Yeah, battleship's on a 4. So 2 and a 4. And we get 1 hit. So he'll lose 1 militia in that first strike. Okay, so now we've got, what do we got? We've got a tactical on a 7. That's a hit. So he loses that next militia. And then we've got landing 2 Marines and 2 infantry. So we've got a total of 4. 4 on a 2. And we get another hit there. So he's down to 1 infantry. All right, so in defense, he's got 1 on a 2 for the militia. That's a miss. And 2 on a 4. And he misses. All right, so he's down to the 1 infantry. And we don't have to worry about double casualties now because now we're past that point. So now we've got a tactical on a 7. Miss. And we've got 4 infantry at 2s. We get our last hit there, so that's good. All right, so in defense, we've got 1 on a 4, and he misses. So far, so good. So we take Java with 2 Marines and 2 infantry. All right, so far so good. Hopefully I'm not screwing these battles up. All right, so now let's go on with... I'm dropping everything. All right, let's go on with this battle here in Sumatra where I've got a Marine, a airborne landing, and this one's a bit of a risky one because we could, and we've got an artillery which will fire in the second round. All right, accompanying them are 2 heavy cruisers that are going to get a bombard and a... Yes, 2 heavy cruisers are on a 2. All right, so let's start that. So this is the Battle of Sumatra. So just in here. So we've got 2 on a 2. Nothing there. So now we've got our troops landing. So we've got 2 at a 2. So we've got a Marine and a airborne on a 2. And nothing there. In defense, he's got a militia at a 2. Misses. So now we've got our artillery landing. So we'll support 1. So we'll have 1 at a 3. Well, actually, we'll have 2 at a 3. Because we'll have the artillery. So it's just 2 out of 3. We don't get first strike because it's come off the ship. And nothing there. And then the 1 unsupported airborne at a 2. And he gets a hit. So that's the only hit we need in defense in Sumatra. Misses. So happy days. We take Sumatra. So far, so good. All right. So now we're going to go on with our final battle here in Borneo. So we're going into Borneo here. I've already marked it because I'm feeling confident. And here we go. All right, so what have we got? We've got a battle cruiser. What's that bombard at? I think bombard's at a 3. Battle cruiser. Heavy cruiser. What's a battle cruiser? Bombard's at a 3. Okay, so let's go there. So we've got a bombard at a 3. Nothing. And then we've got, what do we got? 2 Marines at 2s. And we get 1 hit there. So that's the hit that we need. And then in defense, we've got a 2. And misses. Now, I don't think the seaplane was involved in anything. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's correct. So we take Borneo with 2 Marines. All right. I think that's all of our combats. So let's just get rid of this, get rid of that. I've got a bunch of stuff to land. All right, so these fighters and the tactical are all going to come back onto the carriers. So we'll just land a carrier. We'll have 1 fighter, 1 tactical, and the other light carrier will have a fighter. Okay. Now, these units are actually in there. I just couldn't fit them. So those battleships are in that zone. This stuff is back on the card. Just didn't move. TBD. Magnet's not working for some reason. All right. The transports will be... Where did I put these? Yeah, they're in P59, aren't they? So they're there. These guys are there. They're there. That's there. That's all there. I think that is right. All right. Okay, so non-combat. All right, non-combat. Okay. So I have a transport which we captured from the French. It's going to come out 1, and it's going to have 2. All right, 2 infantry there. Yeah, 2 infantry on it. It's going to come out from P15, go into P32, go in port there in Formosa, and drop 2 infantry into Hunan, yeah. Okay, the air transport is going to pick up 1 airborne out of Kyushu and fly to the Caroline Islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and land there with that airborne in Kyushu. All right, the other transport plane is going to fly to Formosa and land there. The transport from P14, which hasn't moved, is going to come 1 to P15, pick up that artillery, and then drop that and go and port at P32, and that's going to join those forces there in Hunan. Getting a little bit nervous there with the KMT build-up. All right. The fleet submarine out of P32 is going to come 1, 2 to the Caroline Islands. So it's going to be in P46. The submarine that's in P72 is going to come 1, 2, 3 into P53. So that's going to be there. The former French submarine, that's a former French submarine, in I5 is going to come 1 into I4, 2 into I8, and 3 into I7, and the other submarine from I4 is going to join it there. So 2 subs there. All right, what else did I want to move? These coastal submarines in P51 are going to move 1 into P52. All right, these transports are going to go in port in Cochin, China. So just for the other ships will be at sea. Actually, no, they can stay at sea. They're safer out there. And there's no units there. All right, non-comms. I think that's it. All right, let's go to place units. All right, so I'm going to place my 2 ships in sea zone P15, and they're just going to go and port there at Nagasaki. Just there, if you can see that. I'm going to put my marine and airborne there in Kyushu. So that's 2. Another infantry is going to go into Rihe. So just going to join that artillery there. Another 3 infantry are going to go into Nagasaki. So that's my 5 out of that factory. So that's them. And then I've got 3 infantry that are going to go into Honshu. And I believe, hopefully that's it. Income. So we've gone, we were at 32, I believe, because we picked up Cochin, China. And we picked up Siam. So I think that was 32. And then we have a base income of, we had 32 with a bonuses of 5 with 1 extra for the oil. So we've lost that oil We're going to put the Americans up to 12, and I'll do their D12 dice in a second. So, from an income point of view, let's figure this out. So we've picked up Borneo for 2, Sumatra for 2, Java for 2. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the just base income. So that should take us up to 32, 9, 41. And then bonuses, we pick up an extra 2 for Java, 2 for Borneo, 2 for, try one. 2 for Borneo, Java, and that must be it. Yeah, that must be it. I thought there was 2 for Sumatra. Obviously not. I must have read that wrong. So that's now going to improve our bonus income up to 5 plus 4, which is 9, which should give us a total of 50 IPP for next turn, if I'm correct. Hopefully that isn't wrong. So that's 50 IPP. And now I need to do the US income increases. And then I'll do a disposition. Sorry about how long this turn is taking. All right, so they've got 2 D12s. So I've already put them up 1 to 12. Let's see what they go here. So 7 plus 6, pretty average. So, or above average, that's going to be another 13 IPP. So that makes them up to 25. If I'm correct. All right, let's do a disposition. Hopefully I haven't messed this up. And then we'll go from there. All right, so 50 IPP in the bank. The others are all at wartime. So the FECs at wartime, the Anzacs are at wartime, and the Brits are at wartime. So I don't need to worry too much about how their income is affected. All right, so for that, let's go to disposition. So in C-Zone P61, I've got 1 TBD, 2 light cruisers, and a destroyer. In Lesser Sunda Islands, 1 Marine. Dutch New Guinea, 1 Marine. C-Zone P52, 1 destroyer, and 2 coastals. In C-Zone P53, a fleet sub. In C-Zone P46, fleet sub. Caroline Islands has 1 infantry, 1 airborne, and 1 air transport. Palolu has a militia, that hasn't changed. Celebes has a marine, and in C-Zone P51 there is a destroyer. In Borneo there are 2, that should be auto-killed. There are 2 marines, if I've done that battle correctly. Oh, God, I hope I have. In Java, we have 2 marines, 2 infantry. I think I covered that. In C-Zone P59 on this card, I'm just going to put these 2 transports on there just so it's easier. So on this card, I've got 1 light carrier with a fighter, 1 fleet carrier with a fighter and attack, 1 TBD, 2 transports, 2 heavy cruisers, and 2 battleships. Sumatra has 1 infantry, 1 marine, 1 airborne, 1 artillery. That's in Sumatra. I think I covered Borneo, 2 marines. In C-Zone P50, there is a battle cruiser. Let's just line this up properly. 2 heavy cruisers, 2 transports, and a destroyer. That's all in P50. Moving up. In C-Zone P32, there is 2 transports. On Formosa, I've still got, I forgot to move all my planes. All right. So I'm going to fly these planes 1, 2, 3. Hang on. I'm trying to do this 1, 2, 3, 4. So my planes are going to come out of P32, P42. That's 2, 3. No, they can't go there. Disregard. having a moment. All right, so on Formosa, there is two tacticals, 2 fighters, a seaplane and an air transport, and a airborne, and staying put. In Siam, there is 1 militia. In Hunan, let's get this right. I think it's Hunan. Hunan, there's now 4 infantry and an artillery. Season P32, I said there was 2 transports. Shantung has 2 infantry. Shensi still has 2 infantry, 1 militia. Rihe now has 1 infantry, 1 militia. No change to the card in Suyan. So that is motorized, 2 artillery, mountain, 5 cav, and I think it was 11, I got to count. So 6, 9, 10, 11 infantry in Suyan, regular infantry. In Japan itself, so in Kyushu, there is 3, 4, I've got too many infantry in there. I have. So, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 3 infantry, a airborne, and a marine in Honshu. I got to get these names down. Honshu, 3 infantry. And I believe that's it. And I don't think there's anything else I've missed. All right. Hopefully that made sense. There's a long turn. Sorry about how long it's taken, but I didn't want to mess it all up. I was trying to figure it out in my head for ages. So hopefully that made sense and it wasn't too confusing and too messy. But yeah, I'll turn it over to Pete and Global War Enthusiasts. Thanks very much.